Hello, I'm Chris. I'm going to show you 2 different ways to do the reverse bay parking manoeuvre. These different techniques that I'm going to show you are completely fine to use on the driving test.
The most common technique that I've seen people practicing is the 90-degree 3-line or 3-bay method. The benefit of this is that you get told when to turn into the bay, and it will normally work in your instructor's car. The downside is that when you get your car and the dimensions of it are a little bit different, that reference point probably won't work. But let's try it out anyway. To do the 90-degree method, you start in the middle of the road. You need to get your starting position the same pretty much every time you do it. If you change your starting position, then it will change your reference point of when to turn. Select reverse. That gets your white reverse lights on. Tells people behind what you're doing. I'd recommend moving the left-hand door mirror down if you're going to reverse into a bay on the left, as this will help you see what's going on and if you need to make any adjustments. You're allowed to move both mirrors down if it helps. Just make sure you don't stare at the mirrors. You need to be aware of who's around you all the time, looking out for other vehicles reversing or approaching, children running out, and always be prepared to stop if anyone gets near you, but continue if it's safe. Now before reversing, make sure you check all around. Start with your right blind spot, mirrors, ahead, and it's important to check over your left shoulder, through the rear window, before you move. If it's safe, slowly move back until you get to your reference point when to turn. Some instructors put little stickers on the door to show you when to turn. But of course, when you get your car, you won't have these little stickers. But the reference point for me when to turn is about there.
You can see how this line disappears into the passenger door. This is the first line of the first bay. If I turn now, I'd end up in the 3rd bay along, which is over there. Bear in mind this reference point might look slightly different for you, as it depends what car you're driving, your height and seat position.
Now it's important to check all around again because the front of the car is going to swing out. Check the right hand blind spot, all the mirrors and the back window.
As soon as I reverse, I'll steer maximum full lock to the left.
I'm checking around. Got a car there, they're waiting. Parking sensors are sensitive. Now once the car's straight and level, I will now straighten the wheels back to the right, which is about 1 1/4 or maybe 1.5 turns. Going up to the bush behind. And that's close, I'll stop there. Parking brake on, into neutral. And if you want to, you can open your door to check that you're in the bay. If you're not in the bay, then don't be afraid to pull forward and readjust it back in. This will normally cost you a driving fault, or a minor as they're commonly called, but at least you won't fail your driving test unless you've gone over 15 driving faults.
If you did move your mirrors down for this manoeuvre, then don't forget to readjust them back up once you finish bay parking.
Let's try another technique, the 45-degree method. A lot of my pupils prefer this way as it relies less on reference points and more on your judgment. I'm going to be reversing to the left again, so that left mirror is going to be especially important, as I'll be able to see if I'm going into the bay or if I need to adjust the steering as I go.
One of the benefits of this technique is that it relies less on reference points and more on your judgment, which will help you park not just your instructor's car, but also yours when you get one.
Now to do the reverse bay parking to the left and using the angled technique, the 45-degree method, you need to drive close to the bay that you want. I can see a bay on the left that I can use. Now I'm going to drive close to the bay. Not driving into the bay though. That feels pretty close there. Steering right to get the back in. Now it looks level, straighten the wheels.
I'm going to get my left shoulder lined up with the centre of the bay that I want, and then I will stop. This is the target bay I'm going to reverse into, and my left shoulder is lined up with that bay.
This is when I need to angle round to the right. I'll check the interior mirror, right hand mirror, and a quick shoulder check to make sure no one's overtaking. It looks safe to angle round, so I'm going to steer maximum right. Checking around as I do it. And now in that mirror I can see a bay that I can get into. But to make it easier, I'm going to go forward a bit more and steer a little left. That gets the wheels ready for the next part. Select reverse. And now I need to check all around to make sure it's safe to reverse. So I check the right hand blind spot, mirrors ahead, and importantly, the back window. There's no set rule on how much to steer into the bay. You will have to use your judgment, but that left hand mirror is going to really help. I need to get close to that sideline. Looking around, checking over my right shoulder, and that left mirror to see how it's going. Looks quite good.
You can't see the back wheel in a mirror, but it's roughly at the bottom of the mirror. You need to get that to end up close to this sideline.
I'm very close to the line on the left. I'm cutting it slightly, but no harm done. There's nobody there. Looking around, steering left a bit more. I need to keep it close to that sideline. As long as I'm close to that sideline on the left, I know that I'll be okay on the right. I don't want to be super close to the white line, as someone might hit my car with their door if I was parking in a real situation. Checking around, looks okay. Going slowly, watching the learner behind as well. Now, as soon as I'm straight and level, looks quite level with the vehicle in front and the curb and the white line. I now need to straighten the wheels back to the right. Whole turn to the right, the car moving slowly, looking all around.
If you're unsure if the wheels are straight, look through the rear window and make sure you're reversing in a straight line. Stop when the line goes underneath the mirror. This reference point might look slightly different for you, but it will be something similar. Stop earlier if there's something sticking out behind, such as a vehicle or a bush.
Parking brake on, select neutral, and if you want, you can open your door to make sure you're in the bay, as long as it's safe.
Don't forget to readjust any mirrors after you finish the manoeuvre. You can of course use any of these techniques to reverse into a bay on the right.
A bonus way to do this manoeuvre is not to use any techniques or methods at all and just use your judgment. I'll show you what I mean. I'm going to use one of the bays on the left. I'm not going to line up with anything. The only thing I'm doing is just starting in the middle of the road. I don't need to tell the examiner which bay I'm going into, as long as I end up in a bay. In reverse, check all around, blind spot all around back window, looks okay. Now I'm just going to randomly steer left. Wait for the man. That side mirror is really going to help. I just need to get close to that sideline. As long as I'm close on the left, I know that I'll be okay on the right.
This way of reverse bay parking can be harder for new drivers, as you'll need good judgment when reversing, which can take time to improve on. Just being careful of the man with his car, but it looks safe.
Looks good in the mirror. Check it around. He's okay. I'm just reacting to what I see in the mirrors. It looks okay. Looking around.
Don't forget the back wheel is roughly here. If it's going too close to the line, then steer away from it.
I'm going to steer a bit to the right as I'm a bit close to the line on the left. Looks good in the left-hand mirror. Looks good in the right too, but the front looks wonky. Now to get the back to go left and the front go right, I will steer left. And you can see how the front reacts. Once you are level with something in front, straighten the wheels back to the right, slowly go back up to the bush behind. Looks good. Parking brake on, select neutral, and if you need to, you can open your door to make sure you're in the bay.
So that's how to do reverse bay parking using the side mirrors. It takes a bit of practice, and make sure that you don't stare at the mirrors, or you might hit something or someone behind. Don't forget to readjust the mirrors back up after finishing the manoeuvre. Watch this video next to learn how to parallel park into a really tight space. Thanks a lot for watching, please like and subscribe, and bye for now.